All right.
I can show you the world.
Guys, I think this should be our new intro for every week. We should really just switch to being a Broadway podcast.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not Broadway if it's not in New York.
Oh,
I can
yes.
show you the world of sports every week.
Like, guys, this is gonna get the people hyped.
This is some premium audio quality right here. It sounds like I'm right at the Broadway theater.
Like, guys, that's some classy fucking shit.
So why did you play that, Jake?
So, everyone, welcome into the Schmotable. I have spent the evening rediscovering my cultured side. I'm shaking baby.
Are you gonna introduce us? There you go. There we go.
And I went and saw Aladdin with some friends from work tonight on Broadway. On Broadway, Rain Man, you fucking son of a bitch. And it was lovely. It was great. Really good music. Really good just theatrical play value. Really enjoyed it. And it was Broadway because it was a Broadway venue and a Broadway show.
Nope, it wasn't a Broadway venue because it wasn't on Broadway Avenue in New York City.
Not every Broadway show, even in New York, plays on Broadway Avenue. Okay, so back.
It's called off Broadway if it's not on Broadway.
Rayman, you talking about culture. Theater culture is like Stephen A. Smith talking about anything.
You guys make fun of being too cultured and saying things like euphemistic.
No, culture. You're the one who thinks that halftime shows during the Super Bowl should be like.
Yeah, so
that's not culture.
What did you watch?
Culture.
What did you watch?
That's not culture. That's like trash.
What did you watch during the Super Bowl halftime show? Tell me.
It was a TV show.
Right. So you intentionally flipped off the halftime show.
Yeah, I walked away.
Okay.
So
you are not cultured.
Background.
That's not culture.
No.
High culture is like the theater and whatever.
Rain Man, save it. So
background boob is not culture.
We need to give some background to our listeners before we continue to bicker on like children, which we're gonna do.
We're gonna do.
So after I saw Aladdin, Rayman had texted me, when are we doing our Schmotable to our for our adoring fans, to our group text, to which Divock responded, don't tell him you were at the theater because he'll probably freak out. And I was just like, oh yeah, I just saw Aladdin on Broadway. It was great. And Rain Man tells me that Aladdin in Chicago isn't Broadway because it's not in New York. Just blasphemous.
Wait.
Ridiculous.
I also said it's not all shows in New York are on Broadway. Any show in New York that's not on Broadway is off Broadway. That's what it's called. Therefore, if it's off Broadway in different parts of New York City, it's off Broadway in Chicago, which is halfway across the country and doesn't even have the cast.
Then what do you call the Chicago Broadway Company, which is the company that helps put on all of these plays? What do you call the County Broadway Company that I went and saw all of Broadway plays growing up? Little do you know, Schmotable listeners and Rain Man, I'm a cultured motherfucker. I grew up on this shit. I'll fight this fight. I'll fight the good fight.
Yeah, they had.
My parents took me to Broadway shows, actual Broadway shows on Broadway, by like growing up. So I will fight this too. You're full of crap.
I googled
Broadway shows, and guess what didn't come up anywhere that wasn't in New York City.
Where are you located currently right now?
I typed in.
I'm in Philadelphia. So
what's closer, Chicago or New York?
Philadelphia should have come up because they have Broadway shows. They have theater there as well. So Philly could have been there as well.
Would you not agree that even though all Broadway shows don't open in New York, that most Broadway shows do feature a stop in New York, correct?
Okay. Can I chime in here?
Chime in. Go ahead, Divock.
The only theater they have in Philly is people throwing batteries or whatever at Santa Claus. That's the only theater they have in.
Beer bottles.
Theater they have in Philadelphia. Number 2, I typed in the letters BROADW. First suggestion on my Google list: Broadway in Chicago.
You're in Chicago.
And you're closer to New York, which is a much bigger Broadway venue than Philadelphia is.
I'm like still 180 miles away from New York, so
And still a bigger
awesome.
Broadway venue, being even in any kind of proximity to Google, and your Google, the Google on your laptop, which is location based now, if you were unaware.
I am aware.
To the fact that the fact that Broadway in New York, within 200 miles, is still probably going to come up long before Broadway in Philadelphia is.
Broadway Google searches in Chicago should still come up New York because it's not Broadway in Chicago.
Okay, we need to get into some real sports because we're not.
You have a Broadway street.
We're not
Broadway Ave in Chicago.
Rain Man. We are not.
Yes, we do actually.
Well, fuck. But I you know what? I haven't been to Chicago.
Rain Man and Shake and Bake. We're not going to take 30 minutes talking about Broadway theater.
Well,
Can't do it.
It was a really lovely show. I really recommend it.
Aladdin would be great. You know who the star of Aladdin is? Danny Salazar, pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. he's a Broadway star for Aladdin. Looks exactly like
nice. Well, well transitioned, D-Bach. Well transitioned.
There it is. So speaking of sports
and putting on a show, if you will,
and putting on a show, there haven't been a lot of shows in the NBA playoffs so far.
But another guy who could actually be featured in the play as Aladdin is Manu Ginobili. He does look like he could fit the part.
Huh? Where do we get that from? I mean, I guess anyone could be.
That's not true. But
I mean, Danny Salazar actually looks like a bad guy.
No, what I was saying is the star of the show is Aladdin. The star of the playoffs up to this point is Manu Ginobili because of his block on James Harden. That's the transition.
Okay. We missed that. We missed that one.
Star of the series, maybe best moment of the series. Maybe we can compound this a little bit. But yeah, Rain Man is right. Last night was probably the best overall game of the playoffs. Is that a fair statement? I think that's a fair statement.
That's what I'm saying. He's not the best player in the playoffs, but that was the best moment in the playoffs thus far.
I think the game as a whole obviously had a sloppy finish, but as far as entertainment value went, I thought it was the best game of the playoffs so far.
I mean, the Rockets pretty much did the same thing over and over again for the final 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was.
And 5 minutes
frustrating to watch.
And the overtime. It was absolutely. I couldn't even it's like they forgot how to play basketball for the final 5 minutes.
Obviously the Rockets thrive off pace. That's fun to say. Mm-hmm. And but they still do a lot of the Harden gets to the top of the key, makes a couple moves, dribble drives, and either dishes out or gets to the hoop or gets fouled. That is a lot of their offense, but they just took the pace element out of their game and just tried to burn clock, which you're just like, dude, you're the Houston Rockets. The last thing you should be trying to do is play half court, 5-6 possessions in a row and burn clock. You're trying to burn the hoop up. You're trying to get as many balls in the hoop as physically possible. And they just stopped.
I mean, the problem with that is they just ran out of energy. I mean, there's only so much you can do that.
You're Rain Man, you're absolutely right. And the reason they ran out of energy is they played 7 players last night. Can you fucking believe that?
It's unbelievable.
7 players. Sam Decker, Montrezl Harrell didn't even get into the game.
Yeah. Owaku, no.
He shoots his free throws underhanded, which other people should take note of.
Andre Drummond.
By the way, off topic right here, but the Dodgers Pirates game has absolutely gone haywire, and it says Chad Kuhl has led up 30 hits, 10 walks, and 20 strikeouts in 0 innings.
Fun.
It's a record.
Good for him.
It is a blast. What an outing. What an outing.
I'm checking out a couple different prominent sporting websites, and there's currently not a box score in any of them, so they've found that issue.
Yeah.
Yes, they have. Nice find, Diva.
Josh Harrison is 6 for 13, though. So.
Good.
Good day for him.
Good day for him.
I do want to say, one thing I do want to mention is that the Rockets are the most reliant team on 3-pointers I've ever seen in my 3-point data.
Ooh, 3-point data.
3-point data. But they have 4 players. They're the first time in history that 4 players have scored 150 3-pointers or more in the same season on the same team. And they are so reliant on that group of people that they really don't have that much of a bench. And that's the problem. That's when you can't play at that high of a pace for that long and rely on those people, especially when you're grinding it out against the Spurs. You just can't have that. And I think once they get to the Warriors series, they're going to be if they I think the Spurs pull it out, but if by some miracle they pulled out the win, they're going to be wiped, and it's just going to the Warriors are just going to score them like.
So you're saying they don't have a good chance like the Raptors did against the Cavaliers?
I mean, that's fair. I did say that is fair. I mean, I said they had the best chance in the East, so I think the Cavs are just going to sweep everyone else.
Yeah, they will. And I mean, at this point, it makes you think you should just cancel the season, just have the Cavs and the Warriors play like a 77-game series. That's the entire NBA season. Yeah, I mean, it would put
over and over and over. I mean,
and over and over.
It's just one of those things where, like, I think that this. Generally, I really enjoy the NBA playoffs. They're generally some of my favorite playoffs just because the 7-game series and, no back-to-backs really does make things interesting, and they're generally some good matchups. I just think this year, as far as the NBA goes, the chips just didn't fall in their favor because none of these series are really all that good. Yeah, sure, the Spurs-Rockets series is good, but do you really think either of these teams can sniff the Warriors?
I think the Spurs their peak,
I think they'll get killed.
Sniff them. I don't think they can beat them, but I think they can make it a competitive series, whereas every other team's going to get swept by them.
Like define competitive, like can stretch it like to right now. I'd say competitive is stretching it past 5 games. Obviously, do you really think the Spurs can legitimately get to 6 or 7 games? Because I really don't. I really hate to say that because we've all doubted Greg Popovich before in our life, and he has come away with the last laugh. But it's really hard for me to see the Spurs team, the way they're built this year, stopping a team that plays as good a team defense as the Warriors do and can just light up the scoreboard like the Warriors do. Better than the Rockets can.
Right.
The Spurs don't have the personnel. They don't.
No, I mean, if Tony Parker was healthy, I'd say they could push it to 6.
Even with Tony Parker, I don't know. Obviously Tony Parker is a key piece because of how his ability to set up the offense. He doesn't score like he used to.
Facilitator.
But even with him, he legitimately might be more of a liability just because he can't play defense on anyone on the Warriors anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, basically, he can't. He can't, but I mean, honestly, the biggest problem is, and I was saying this to someone the other day, was with the Rockets. The Rockets are so reliant on just scoring you out of the building, but the Warriors can score right back.
I think the Rockets would have a much better chance than the Spurs because I think if the Rockets
– No way.
I think if the Rockets are hitting their threes, they're really, really, really hard to beat. Really hard.
I smell wind.
And I could see that. The question is, can they do that 4 out of 7 times? They can't. Against the Warriors, they might be able to pull it off twice.
No.
I could see them taking 2 games from the Warriors.
No. Yeah, I can't see that at all. I can't see that because the problem is Houston can't play defense at all, and they need outscore.
That's no secret. They don't try to play defense. That's their game. But when they're hitting their threes, they are really hard to beat.
Yeah, but guess what? Steph, Clay, and Kevin Durant are more efficient at shooting threes than any of the Rockets players. The Rockets' most efficient shooter is Ryan Anderson.
Right. That's why they can't do it like in the long run. But
Steph and Clay shoot at 42, 43%. Like
a couple games they get hot and they just start draining, and then everything comes together and they look like the best team in the world. So
yeah, but you have 3+ defenders on the wing and the perimeter in Klay Thompson, Durant, and Draymond Green. And before you say Durant isn't a defender, he was in line.
I'm not saying they're going to beat them. I'm talking about taking like a game or 2.
I don't think they will. I mean, look, James Harden shot at 35%, which
we're probably not going to get the chance to find out.
We won't. It'll be the Spurs. But they're all their shooters, besides Ryan Anderson, who shot 40%, all shot around league average. And so when you have an elite perimeter defensive team like the Warriors, you're
I understand all this. This all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm saying they can shoot above league average for 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
They can't
That's how things work.
Yeah. If they
Right.
play more than 7
I think Kawhi and LaMarcus could pop off for a game or two. Like,
well, if Kawhi
I
is
don't think
healthy.
the Warriors.
yeah, that's
I don't think the
true.
Warriors is
Kawhi is
Spurs. But
not healthy.
all right, let's move on to. Do we want to talk about Boston Wizards, or we just say whoever's the home team just wins and that's about
Yeah, it seems to be just whoever the home team is just going to win. I mean, this is a more boring series because when I look at this series, because obviously now we know that it's just the right to play the Cavaliers. I don't think the Wizards can hold a T to the Cavs. I thought coming in the playoffs, the Wizards and the way they're playing, the way they were playing coming out of the regular season, they could give the Cavs a match. But the way they play in these playoffs, I don't think they can at all.
They're too inconsistent.
I hate both of these fucking teams. Ugh, I can't stand.
I think Boston has a better chance simply because they have depth and defense on their side, and multiple guys that can rotate onto LeBron James. But as we've seen with a lot of other teams who have multiple guys you can rotate on LeBron James, it doesn't matter if you don't have a lot of guys who can put up a ton of points, which Boston has some starters that can put up a ton of points, but they don't get a ton of bench scoring, but they do have some quality bench guys at the same time. I mean, it's going to be Cavs Warriors. There's no reason it's not going to be.
I mean, the question is, will the Celtics even take a game? That's the question.
I don't think they will. I think the Cavs are going to sweep.
I think the Celtics could get a game, a singular game. I don't know.
I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can. Maybe if Kelly Olynyk gets hot, maybe.
I mean,
the key cog to the dirty play of the Boston Celtics on defense.
The burrito eating assassin, Kelly Olynyk. He looks like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
If the Celtics, let me put it this way: if the Celtics got a Paul George or a Gordon Hayward in this upcoming free agency, I would say they were a contender. But
this is the thing I have. Let's talk about this just because Utah's out. Sidebar to our original scheme. Does Gordon Hayward equal what LeBron James gives to the Cavs for what the Celtics have? Like what? No. I think Gordon Hayward's spectacular. I really like his game. I like the way he is going to be a legitimate triple-double threat all the way through the rest of his career. And he's a much better shooter now than he was in college. But what does Gordon Hayward bring that puts the Celtics over the top? I don't get that concept personally.
I agree.
He brings legitimate 3-point shooting, spacing.
So you have one 3-point shooter besides Isaiah.
Have you seen Jay Crowder shoot threes?
Jay Crowder is decent at shooting threes, but as a whole,
Jay Crowder is a fantastic 3-point shooter.
Okay, what I'm saying is, yes, he's a very efficient 3-point shooter. He shoots at 40%. He made 157 this year. What is this?
That's an ad that just played.
Okay.
Wow.
But
your advertisements.
What I want to say is that the Celtics scoring dips off tremendously after Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas has 30-plus points per game. Then it's Al Horford with 18. You need a reliable second scorer that can, and eases allows Avery Bradley to come off the bench. Marcus Smart. Like, you need these guys to become more potent scoring threats, but you also need to add an extra scorer in there because it's too uniform. You need like another.
How about this? No one's beating anybody the Cavs in the East until LeBron retires. How about that?
I mean, that's fair.
Can we just that's just gonna happen. So
but I do want to say that
we're gonna have to move on. We're gonna have to move on.
One player away from contending.
One last stat. Oh, well, Jay Crowder and Gordon Hayward shot the exact same 3-point percentage this year. So
they did do that. So
I personally don't understand what Jay Crowder gives them that they don't, or what Gordon Hayward gives them that they already have just besides another big name. I think
there'd also be a transition to bring in a star player and having to like incorporate it.
I mean, if I'm the Celtics and I want a star player or a max contract player, if you will, I want Jimmy Butler. Not really anyone else.
Yeah, I could see that.
Paul George, I think of those three that we've seen,
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward's very good. Paul George is very good. But Jimmy Butler is the only guy I've seen bring a pretty average team over the top and into being legitimate, at least in big games. Maybe not record-wise overall, but Jimmy Butler seems like a much more complete package as a superstar than either of those guys.
The Bulls have paid LeBron better than any team out there.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. Gordon Hayward is not like I would say Paul George is a better fit. But I'm saying if you get another second option that can score consistently, score 22 points a game and relieve some of the pressure off the other players and allow them to play in their roles more, you have a more complete team. But I agree, Jimmy Butler is going to be would be a better fit. Paul George would be a better fit. But, those are the players you kind of have available.
It's true, too, because LeBron James isn't coming to Boston.
Right. He's not. Yeah. And Kevin Durant should have, but he didn't.
Oh, stop it.
If he should have stayed with the Thunder, but the Celtics should have been his second choice.
Yeah, whatever. It seems like he's really crying over the decision to leave right now. What a terrible decision.
On number fire.
What a terrible decision. Jesus.
Horrible.
So,
okay.
In other Chicago news, besides phenomenal Broadway shows, you can also see the reeling Chicago Cubs, and it's great.
Oh.
I know Divock agrees with this statement.
This is fantastic. Yeah, the Cubs are
pitching,
17.
man. The pitching is bad. The pitching is what the Cubs feared it would be, and it is not good. Obviously, they're 17-17, and we're in the middle of May, but they are not even in the middle of May, but they are not looking good.
They look terrible. They don't have. I like to say for my baseball early season, especially, I like to look at the teams that have it, like capital letters IT. Last year with the Cubs, you could tell there was something special going on from the very beginning. Agreed, shake and bake. Agreed, shake and bake. It was fucking horrible. You could just tell.
Yeah,
and you knew they had the prospects to send over to pick up a guy like Chapman at the trade deadline. So, I like to look at, what teams have that it and the prospects to make a splash at the trade deadline. The NL is tough for me. I mean, I'm liking the Dodgers and I'm liking the Nationals. Other than that, I mean, the Cardinals are playing well, but it might be the Dodgers' year in the NL.
I mean, what about the 22-13 Rockies that are going to totally keep this going?
Yeah, the Rockies don't keep it. The Rockies start out like this.
Yeah, obviously, it's an odd number of years. The Giants will be out of it. They might get back into it more, but the Giants aren't going to the playoffs.
Giants are fucking terrible.
That's how this selling your soul to the devil for your World Series things works. Is you got the even years. And last year you blew it after having a chance to really, really take it, and you blew it.
And Madison Bumgarner injured himself on a dirt.
Yeah.
They're a mess.
An odd year. That's what happens.
They're a mess.
But I am hesitant to jump on the Dodgers bandwagon, even though they're playing well, because like what we talked about in the preseason, I believe I mentioned in one of our Schmotables that the Dodgers just have the same roster that 5 years ago, if you also have a Corey Seager, not even 5 years ago, let's say 3 or 4 years ago, if you have a Corey Seager still on this team is a World Series, almost no brainer.
They've got this Cody Bellinger now.
Yeah, and Cody Bellinger's good, and he's going to be
killing it.
Yeah,
and they have prospects to make trades for. They need another starting pitcher.
They definitely
do.
They have a few of them on the DL here,
and
that they want to get back, but.
They're hoping Urias can be, can really make some progress this year.
Well, he almost had a no-hitter last night, so he did.
I mean, and then the Nationals, I never trust Dusty Baker, but I could see.
No, nor should you, because I've felt that pain.
Yeah, I could see him willing his team to the World Series and losing. I could see it.
Yeah, he does it all.
Yeah, so in the AL. Can I go into
I was about to say, if the Nationals get to the World Series, I don't give Dusty Baker as all that much credit, unfortunately, because I've seen Dusty Baker have talented teams and not do anything, not just in Cincinnati and other towns too. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just based on the Nationals are a really freaking good baseball team. And I don't think managing is going to make a difference for them in a lot of games.
Yeah, and then and you know what? Ethan got hurt with the ACL. I guess that hurts.
Yeah,
but Schwarber went down with the ACL for the Cubs last year, and they turned out okay. So, in the AL, my favorite team, the AL, the team I think is going to win the World Series this year, is the Houston Astros. And why do I think the Houston Astros are going to win the World Series this year?
Dallas
Keuchel, the classic post-hype sleeper. Last year was the year everyone thought the Astros were going to make that big next step after they blew it to the Royals. All this great young talent, they were ready to be the top contender in the American League, and they shit the bed.
Yeah.
Completely. The classic post-type sleeper. They have added a lot of good veteran players: Josh Reddick, Brian McCann, Carlos Beltran. Keuchel's back in form. They have the prospects to make moves at the trade deadline. A ton of prospects. I think this is the year the Astros finally put it together and win the World Series.
You know who's leading? You know who's leading the MLB in points differential though?
Is it
The Yankees?
The Yankees. The Yankees are my other team in the American League that just seem to have it.
They
That
do.
it factor.
They
Right
shouldn't
now,
have it.
I have two bets right now. I have a bet on the Astros and I have a bet on the Yankees to win the World Series. Those are my two teams.
Yeah.
But I'm skeptical.
I will buy the Astros, and I would hold on the Yankees. The only reason I would hold on the Yankees is actually nothing against them for once. I just simply think that the Yankees right now are living a lot off of rookie and guys who haven't been consistent.
Yeah. That are going to come back down there.
Guys who haven't had consistent hitting throughout any point of their career, a la Boys.
Aaron
Well,
Judge. I mean,
Well,
Judge.
see, that's what you tell yourself. That's what you tell yourself to try to like convince yourself away from them. But the thing is, sometimes in certain years, everything just comes together for no apparent reason whatsoever. And for the Yankees, just seem to have that winning that game against the Cubs. They were down 3-0 and Garner or 2-0 and Garner hit the 3-run home run.
Right.
They have that it factor. They're winning games they shouldn't be winning. They have the prospects to make any deal they want to at the trade deadline. They're the best prospects in baseball.
I mean, I don't think obviously the Red Sox and the Orioles are going to make their own noise as far as the AL East goes. But I do like this. Obviously, the Yankees need to make some trades for the starting pitching, but you have a pretty locked down ninth inning. Even though Chapman blew it the other night.
Yeah.
I think Svathy is not doing poorly. Like
he's
not doing well either.
He's been getting shelled. He started off okay. He's been getting shelled.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the other AL teams.
Ads again.
The AL teams. The Red Sox, I think, miss Ortiz way more than people thought they would.
Yeah.
Way more, and they will. Yeah, I think they're going to miss his presence throughout the season. I don't think the Indians have it this year. There's something.
I don't either.
I don't have that feeling with the Indians. Last year I did. Obviously last year I did.
Yes, obviously by your browned out bet.
Yeah, but this year Encarnacion, no, it's not clicking for me. Not clicking for me. And then the Orioles look good. They don't have the starting pitching. There's no way.
No, they would have to make a move.
They would need. I don't see that. Zach Britton's
hurt. Same thing. They're just living and dying by the big ball, and the big ball gets you to the playoffs. But we've seen with the Orioles in the past that doesn't get them very far into the playoffs.
I'm not a Chris Davis fan. I'm not. I know
you are. We've talked about this.
I'm not a Chris Davis. Yeah.
I still. I'm looking at both central divisions. Those seem to be a toss up. Sticking in the AL, I agree that I don't think the Indians have it. They're still very good.
They'll run away with the division.
Currently that division is a logjam, and I still think I expect Minnesota to fall off to their talent level as they tend.
I think Minnesota is actually pretty decent. It's the White Sox who are going to be that 65-win team. Well, they suck. I as a White Sox fan, I can say they are fucking terrible. Like we can only hope Moncada can come up and give us some glimmer of hope. Because Tim Anderson's not going to give us any hope.
No.
Or Todd fucking Frazier.
Hey.
You can have him back any time you
done.
I would drive him in my Lexus to Cincinnati and drop him off at Great American Ballpark.
Can I come? Sounds like
you can come with
car ride.
Me, you, and Todd Frazier. We can tell him we're going to we can tell him we're going into a baseball field trip.
Sounds great. Sounds like kind of my dream scenario.
And Frazier would be like, Frazier would be all excited. We can tell him we're going to the home run derby. How about that?
Back in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and then we just drop him off there and leave him there with his bags.
Well, I might stay and hang out with Todd.
You could
Todd's a
stay.
nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, sure it's great. Dan Doan's a nice guy too. But
yeah, I think you and I are pretty aligned here, Divock. I really like the Astros. I don't like anyone in the Central as is. I think Yankees and Orioles. My gut feeling is the Red Sox will figure it out, but they do miss Ortiz. And the Nationals and out of the Central, I mean, I assume the Cubs will make some moves to figure it out. But the Cardinals are once again starting to look like the Cardinals, and this is something I've been trying to tell Cubs fans in Chicago because Cubs fans have this false sense of security, like the St. Louis Cardinals are just going to go away forever and they have some right to make fun of them because they're on top of the world from last year. The St. Louis Cardinals are probably, and I think this is more than a fair argument, probably the best run franchise in sports outside of the New England Patriots.
And you know what right now the Cubs' biggest problem, I think, right now is they are cocky as fuck.
Cocky as fuck. They just assume all these hits are going to come their way and how this works.
They were down by 5 runs the other day, and they put Miguel Montero into the game to pitch.
Yep.
Are you shitting me? You're down by 5 runs and you're throwing out your backup catcher?
With your
I know it. He got everyone out. He didn't have any runs. But seriously? You're that cocky that you think these regular season games, you can't even you think, we don't care about this game? You know, you're that cocky?
I mean, to be fair, there's 162 games.
But it's
a ridiculous amount of games.
That's so cocky.
It is cocky. No. I'm not arguing with that. But I am saying, like, a regular season baseball game doesn't mean that much.
I mean, you tell that to the people who lost tiebreakers, you know?
Fair.
Tell that to the teams who lost tiebreakers. I mean, you're down by 5 and you throw it back at the catcher. I mean, Granty is probably better than Brett Anderson, who was pitching that game, but, like, I don't know. I don't.
What do you guys think of Matt Harvey?
Oh, we got a good old love triangle. Actually, it's kind of just like a love, like, parallel line that Matt Harvey thinks he's in it.
Yep.
I don't even know what to think, but he just sounded like on the other end of this, kind of coming out how he was going to, like, file grievances, and then all of a sudden now he's just like, yeah, man, I'm really sorry. I messed up and missed that game. I was like, so you messed up and you didn't want to admit it, and then you kind of came, got your head out of your own ass and realized,
I mean,
so you heard the story, right? Like, he was fucked up till 4 a.m. decided and then
in the greatest lifestyle. In the greatest city in the world, New York City, where the pizza is better than every other place in the world.
That's
only
true.
Place you can catch Broadway.
That's true.
New York City.
That's true.
When your star pitchers are just out till 4 a.m., nights before starts and games. And
hey, man,
Harvey could do whatever the fuck he wants if he had a 2 ERA and 10 strikeouts every game.
Yeah, but he hasn't been the same since the surgery.
Yeah, if he threw like Jacob deGrom or Syndergaard when he was healthy.
His velocity went down so much, and his ability to control the ball, his strikeout rate, everything's declined drastically to the point that he's kind of like an average pitcher now.
It doesn't help that he's out of shape.
Yeah,
like he's legitimately like
he looks out of shape.
He is. He looks bad.
To make an odd analogy, he looked similar to kind of a chubbier version of when Rafael Nadal was coming back from all those knee injuries and just looked like a skeleton.
Yeah.
For all of our avid tennis fans who listen to this podcast, that's about culture, as we touched on earlier.
My friend Parth listens to this, and he's a big tennis fan. So hopefully he'll be a one. There we go.
Where like when Matt Harvey came into the league, the guy just looked like a Ferrari.
Yeah,
and just looked like he was going to be the ace of the Mets forever and ever. And Rafa Nadal kind of made his mark on wearing the sleeveless tennis shirts and like just being jacked and being this incredible athlete. Gets injured. Matt Harvey originally came back fine, and then has kind of sunk down.
Now he looks like a Pontiac Aztec.
Yeah,
it's ugly.
The Pontiac Aztec,
the ugliest car ever.
Yeah, those were ugly.
Yeah,
unless you're an Aztec.
And he just
There
he
you
just
go.
looks out of shape and slow and like he can't get the ball to the plate without basically basically like worrying if he's going to throw up from the night before. Which now we know that's why he looks like that, because
Yes.
he looks like he was about to
just
throw
wants
up
to
the night before.
He just wants to date models though, so that's all he
Yeah.
wants to do.
He has the money.
I want to do it too.
Dollar
Me and
dollar
him.
bills, y'all.
Dollar
Me and
bills.
him. I'll go on a double date with him. If he can get Adriana, I can like maybe scoop up somebody.
Wait.
Get on Bumble for a couple hours, figure something out.
Bumble. I mean,
So one of my friends from the NBA internship is a professional tennis player who's like actually friends with Djokovic, and I got to go out with them. And
wait,
they
so you met Novak Djokovic?
no. I met my friend. I went out with my friend, and
Okay.
d-
That's not
That's
Novak
different.
Djokovic.
That's very different.
Yeah,
Mario-
you made it sound like you went out with Novak Djokovic.
no. Okay, all right. So
All right.
I got Mario Uncic, great dude,
Okay.
and tennis players can lay down the game too, as well.
Yes.
That was the story.
That was
Wait,
the-
man, I was expecting something like cool.
yeah,
Actually, no, I wasn't expecting really much.
yeah. What were you
That's
expecting?
all right.
I'm not cool.
I mean, you
You can watch something cool just because you're not cool. You could see something cool
Yeah,
happen. Be like,
yeah.
damn, that's cool.
You should. I would
Wish
just
that
stuck
was
with
me.
it. I would have just stuck with the Novak Djokovic story.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
True.
just said you went out with
Rain
Djokovic.
Man, maybe we're gonna spend the next Schmotable kind of teaching you how to really weave a tale and really like engage
Yeah.
us. Screw our listeners. They'll figure it out either way. But like, I want you to engage Divock and I with some whimsical tales, because you got a great opener. You really do. But God, you just can't finish.
Yeah, because that had the makings of a good story. I was kind of like, this could be interesting.
It was like, it was more like, how the hell did he get to go out with Novak Djokovic kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it was a
Here I am.
major flop. You're kind of like James Harden.
Kind of like James Harden. You walked up to the front top of the key and just tried to dribble drive with some of the better defenders in the world in front of you.
Now I know we're running low on time here, but we had a couple of things we haven't talked about that we need to. Number one, we need to mention Lonzo Ball's shoes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The big baller shoes.
Right. So Lonzo Ball's
Faux 95.
Or
You don't like faux 95? You ain't a big baller.
Yeah.
they are almost as much as this GDP per capita of Somalia.
Yeah.
That is a true stat.
That is a
They're
true
like-
stat. He's
They're
like
like $50 less.
Yep.
Than
Yep.
entire countries.
So who's buying a pair?
no.
Not
Per person.
not Somalians.
Not Somalians. No. No.
They are not. For all those Somalian listeners out there,
Sorry.
don't buy
Don't buy
it.
it.
Don't buy it.
You know how he came up with the number?
$4.95. How they come up with it?
He liked how it sounded, and he liked 3 different numbers. I kid you not. That's what he said. He just liked 3 different numbers, and it sounded right. And they're like, "Why didn't you just charge $500?" He's like, "I like 3 different numbers." And I'm like,
$4.95.
To
Like,
look
you mean-
at it in a business sense, is it good business to price your son, who's not even on NBA teams yet?
absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely not. It's ludicrous. It is
But-
ludicrous.
But do you guys know what sneakerheads are?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We're all aware of that term.
Yeah.
Whether Lonzo Ball,
They
whether Big Baller Brand, whether the Ball family ever even makes it in the NBA, maybe Lonzo's a huge bust. Maybe let's say 1,000 of these pairs of shoes sell over the next 3 or 4 years, and they throw in a couple of the flip flops, which are $250 on their own, which is bullshit. And I think that's the bigger tragedy than the shoes being $500. Is the slides, the Jordan flip flop knockoffs are $225 on their own.
And if you get a signed shoe, it's
I can go to Dick's Sporting Goods, get a pair of memory foam soled Adidas flip flops for $20 to $30 and be happy as a clam for years and years and years. I'm not paying for rubber.
The thing is, you can do that with a lot of things though, because you
Yeah.
can do. Let's say you get bottle service, right? They
Yeah.
bring you a bottle of Grey Goose. How much does that cost at the club?
150.
Hundreds. You can buy that for $20 at Walgreens, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same. It's the same thing. Like you can compare and contrast. It's all about the brand and the
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
all about the brand and the
I
value.
sidebarred here. My main point was that somewhere down the line, these shoes are going to be collector's items, and I have no doubt about that in my mind. And they're going to make more money off of it.
I don't think so.
I think
they definitely are, because
I was listening
it's
to
the first thing of its kind.
Look, there's a couple reasons that won't happen. One, Lonzo has to be successful for that to happen.
No, he doesn't.
Actually,
No, he doesn't. He absolutely does not have to be successful for that.
Do you care about Starberries? Are Starberries
collector's item? They're a collector's item. They're not popular. You don't see people wearing them around, but I bet you'll find people who will pay $250 for Starberries.
What's the secondary market for Starberries?
I would love to know if I was a sneakerhead.
No, but what I'm saying is,
they're much more popular in China than they are in America. And Stephon Marbury makes a very good business on them in China.
He does.
Stephon Marbury has his own museum. He's his own museum in China.
All right, guys. But the problem is that like a lot of the sneakerhead stuff is in the secondary market. It's not when you initially buy the shoes. It's what the resale value is afterwards.
Yeah, and that will make it a success. You know what?
I don't think it will, because if he flops, then people are going to be like, you spent $500 already, and you're going to try and sell me this for $1,000. This like absolute piece of crap shoe that was crafted.
What if they're comfy shoes? What if people think that they're cool? Someone out there thinks these shoes are cool. I guarantee it.
LeVar probably thinks they're cool.
Fans, but I guarantee. I know for a fact it's been on record that I heard Chad Ochocinco, but that's just because of my Cincinnati Airways and other multiple pretty big name athletes. Lil Wayne is ordering a pair. So you have my childhood hero and you have Lil Wayne, the people's hero, as we all know. You do have people coming out saying that you're going to buy these shoes.
Okay, but that's individual anecdotes. This is not going to be a mass movement.
You don't know that because we don't.
How about
LeVar?
How about LeVar's on why Michael Jordan couldn't sell now $495 shoes?
Because he's not Lonzo.
Because he ain't Lonzo Ball.
He ain't no Lonzo
LeVar.
Ball.
You know what, LeVar is the ultimate heel. Like, it's great. He plays it.
He is.
Like, he's like that bad guy in wrestling. Who, like, he goes out there and he like insults the city and he just come on, bring it on, all that kind of shit.
I will say that I listened during Stupid People Therapy this week. I listened to LeVar Ball's his interviews, and he was much calmer. And it's much easier to take him seriously when he's actually having a legitimate conversation. He makes a lot of good points when he's not screaming about how he could beat up Michael Jordan and beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in one-on-one and crazy shit like that. He actually has a pretty solid business head on his shoulders. That doesn't mean that this price isn't outrageous, but like I'm saying, there is something to this being a collector's item, and that the Balls stand to make a lot of money off of these.
The thing is,
a little bit of success.
Another thing that people are not thinking about is that the manufacturing and distribution of the shoes, and yes, you can order them online and stuff like that, but LeVar Ball doesn't have a factory to build these shoes, and I guarantee you Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour are going to block him from getting any manufacturers to actually be able to factory produce and mass produce this shoe. So, like, they might not be able to fulfill orders. There might be, backlash. There might be, like, a lot of things that we don't think about because he's handcrafting all of these shoes.
We'll see.
And they're not going to be sold in stores because you bet your ass Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour are going to block him.
LeVar's
Sporting goods can choose what they put in their stores. That's not up to Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas because they sell all of those shoes.
Dick's Sporting Goods would not be able to. Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour definitely control like what shoes are able to be sold in what stores.
Well, they let ASICS in, and ASICS is not a threat.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's big baller brand, a legitimate threat to Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas, and just a competitor.
Asics aren't direct competitors with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And LeVar Ball has basically said, I went to these guys, they turned me down. So he spat in their face publicly, and they're going to be spiteful about it. There was a sneakerhead who said that these companies are going to cut off his distribution network to major stores. Like a very heavy sneaker. I forget his name. He was on Philly radio, and like he's a DJ too.
It was on Philly radio. Then it's probably blasphemy.
It's probably blasphemy. I don't know. I don't know who real sneakerheads are or whatever. But this guy he worked for Under Armour and he seemed good.
Alrighty, I think LeVar knows what he's doing. I think he's doing a good job.
I do think that I legitimately think this. I think that there is a lot more going on just with LeVar's business plan that we'll never know about, which is just how this works. And but at this point, he's already winning because we're talking about it, and so is everyone else. He's winning. We're talking about the Big Baller brand, which is a no-name brand based off one kid who was an All-American.
Yeah,
he's winning already. That doesn't mean he'll continue to win, but
if Lonzo,
I'm hedging some bets, I'm probably leaning towards hedging them towards LeVar Ball's master plan than I am against it.
If Lonzo does not do well, you can bet your ass LaMelo and LiAngelo are going to get negative looks just from NBA teams from that.
No shit, but that doesn't mean that they're not just going to give up on it. Especially if LaMelo, who is really apparently the prize of the younger two.
Right.
Especially if LaMelo is the 5-star recruit that he's expected to be, comes in and does some of the similar things Lonzo Ball did at UCLA and gets potentially better than Lonzo does because he still has room to grow and put on weight and improve and can shoot and score and distribute, blah, blah, blah. If this dude comes in the NBA as another, potential number 1 overall pick, you've already won because especially if Lonzo goes in the first 3 picks, he's going to get more than one chance. Like if he goes to the Lakers and the Lakers just don't get better because of him, and then he's kind of a journeyman point guard throughout the NBA the rest of his career, that's fine. That's
true.
That's fine. True. And as long as, Papa Ball is around, there's going to be talk about it.
He'll be around.
Nice.
All right. And we were going to mention Schmo's workout video.
The workout video.
Yeah? The workout video.
If you hadn't watched it, go to the Schmo page on Facebook and watch his live stream of him working out in his powerlifting onesie and turtleneck. It's the best. It's great.
It's not, the minute I saw the get up, it was very, very, very funny.
Yeah, it's awesome.
With the get up. That was
fantastic.
And could Schmo look any more unathletic? I know he's a good athlete. I know Schmo can do some things, but like, can he look any more unathletic doing his?
Hey man, not every. It's kind of like Jamal Crawford. He can play sports. He can pick up a basketball, but he's not a gym guy. Doesn't look athletic in the weight room.
He does not. No,
he doesn't. Schmo's not. He's not a combine. He's not a combine.
He's a field. He's not a field performer. He shows up on game day.
He is. He's a chemistry guy.
Yeah. All right, gents.
No, that was good.
Go check out the Smo Show and check out.
Where we're gonna go? We're talking about Big Baller Brand. We're gonna end on something. Where are we gonna end on?
Oh, well, that was it.
No, the song.
Oh,
we're gonna play the song. There's a song. We're gonna play a song. Remember?
Oh, weren't we?
We were. We were talking about Big Baller Brand. Why are we gonna play that song again? Because Rayman. Why were we gonna play the song? Shake and Bake. Rayman. I forgot. What's so funny? Why were we gonna play this? Because Rayman didn't want to be a baller. Is that right?
No. I mean, I'm not gonna buy the shoes no matter what. Like that's
no. We were talking about something earlier, and we said we were gonna play this song that Shake and Bake's about to play.